Trump has done an unbelievable, a stunning U-turn on Ukraine. I guess that's what the U is for in Ukraine. U-turn. Well, he probably saw the U and thought, yeah, let's do a U-turn. Just going by the way he thinks normally. But his MAGA supporters are going to hate every minute of it and every dollar of it. Let me get into the story. Trump promises to help speed weapons to Ukraine. Can you believe this? It's I still can't get over it. I am just stunned. I'm flabbergasted. President Trump said on Monday that he would help Europe speed more weapons to Ukraine and warned Russia that if it didn't agree to a peace deal within 50 days, he would impose a new round of punishing sanctions. Now, look, I know a lot of my followers who are with me because I'm critical of the president. I'm a former lifelong Republican and conservative and Christian, not former Christian. I'm still a Christian. But don't get mad at me for saying this is a good thing because we've all been critical of him for his stand on Ukraine, where he uh, was saying that it's Ukraine's fault, that the war was Ukraine's fault instead of Russia's fault. I mean, how I don't even know what to call it. Brain dead, ignorant of what happened, ignorant of the history of this war. I don't know what to call it, but it's was an unbelievable thing that he would say Ukraine caused this, and I criticized him for that, and we all did, and we did so rightly. Um, so he said it was Russia's fault. He said we're cutting off all shipments. We have no use for them anymore. They need us more than we need them. Remember all this stuff? It was crazy Looney Tune stuff, and we put up with it, but we criticized it, and now he's doing what appears to be a U-turn. And I have to say this, if he sticks with this, we have to praise him for this, just like we criticized him when he did the opposite thing. Because if we criticize him for one thing and he turns around and does a U-turn and does the exact opposite, then shouldn't we give him credit for that? I think we should. I mean, as Christians who are honest, and our goal and our job in life is to be true to God, and God asks us to tell the truth and to be truthful about all things, then we have to be truthful and say, if he helps Ukraine, that's a good thing, right? So we can't let our political views, the fact that we might want him out of office, the fact that we might want to marshal a ideological battle against him to help people see why he's bad for America, which I still believe he is in many ways. And I'm sure I'll talk about those in the coming days. But on this issue, if he does the right thing, we got to say, you know what, he did the right thing on that. Let's not be like them. No matter what Biden did, they found a way to criticize it, even if it was a good thing. And Biden did a lot of good things. One bad thing Biden did was he was slow in helping Ukraine. One good thing he did is he was strong on always wanting to help them. He never wavered in supporting them. And he was strong on getting marshaling the world together, at least the free world, to go against Russia. Did a great job on that. He did a great job in organizing and getting the sanctions going. But he could have done so much more. He could have ended this war before Trump took office. Trump literally could have ended this war within a few days of taking office, I believe, because if he had been strong then, like the words he's saying now, it remains to be seen if he'll stick to this and if this will play out in his actions. But if he had been this strong on day one and said, we're going to increase sanctions, you have 50 days, we're going to send all kinds of weapons. Now he's saying we're going to send the best weapons to Ukraine. Can you believe that is coming from Trump? This is a stunning turnaround from a couple of weeks ago when the Pentagon announced all shipments of weapons were canceled. And then a reporter asked Trump in a White House meeting, hey, what happened to that? Why are they canceling the weapons? And he said, what? I don't know. What are you talking about? Literally, he didn't know about it. He asked the reporter to tell him who did that. He didn't know. So, some heads got banged around after he found out. And apparently he found out from a reporter of all people. Well, it's gone from that to now his saying, we're sending the best weapons now and we're going to get them there fast. which is unbelievable. I really think that he sees this killing and he doesn't like it, and that's to be commended as well. We got to commend that. He said many, many times, and he said it for more than a couple of weeks. He said it since the campaign last year. He doesn't like the killings. Well, that's great. So let's encourage him in that by not slapping him down for it. Let's encourage him by letting him know we appreciate that. And by the way, you think, well, that'll hurt our fight against Trump. No, it won't, because as all things MAGA would have it, MAGA is such an upside down world that I guarantee you, when they hear us, people who they know have been critical of the president in the past, when they hear us start to say, hey, this is a good thing he's doing, they're going to turn against it even more. They're going to be against this anyway. They are going to hate this because they have taken a strong, strong stand against Ukraine, and they fought us on it. They've defended the MAGA policy and the Republican policy of not helping Ukraine, and they've defended it strongly. And now we're going to come in and say, "Hey, guys, Trump's doing a good thing now in Ukraine. I applaud what he's doing." They're going to be like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what's going on?" Now Trump's enemies are supporting him. They've literally not heard me say more than a few words of support for Trump over the last few years. And when they hear me start to say this, they're going to be pretty stunned by that. And they're going to be thinking, whoa, wait a minute, Trump must have done something wrong because Jonathan supports it. And Jonathan has disagreed with me on everything for the last 10 years. So not only they'll naturally not support what Trump has just announced, but when they find out we're supporting it, they're going to not support it even more strongly. They're going to be even more against it. So look, let's keep it honest. Let's don't be like them. Let's don't turn everything into something bad just because we think the guy is bad on a lot of issues. Okay. If he's good on something, then let's admit it. And not only will that be doing the right thing by God, that we're telling the truth and keeping things honest, but it will also do the right thing politically because it will turn more MAGA people against him when they see those of us who they've known for the last many years have not supported Trump at all. When they see us suddenly support something, I'm going to go online tonight and do it and check out their reaction. I think they're going to be pretty stunned. Anyway, the announcement comes as Mr. Trump carries out a remarkable shift in tone on the war in Ukraine from his first months in office, when he looked to leverage his personal relationship with Putin of Russia to end the war. He's fooled a lot of people, Mr. Trump said of Mr. Putin, who launched an unprovoked full invasion of Ukraine in 2022 and escalated attacks amid peace negotiations this year, even as Mr. Trump tried to bring an end to the fighting. And Trump said this. He said he fooled Clinton, he fooled Bush, he fooled Obama, he fooled Biden, but he didn't fool me. I mean, this is this delusional thinking. This is part of this delusional thinking that is a hallmark of this presidency and this president. Delusional. He fooled Obama and he fooled Bush. He may have fooled Bush actually. Clinton, I don't know. But Biden, he sure didn't fool Biden. If anything, he fooled Trump for this first 6 months of his administration. He fooled Trump. Trump was kissing up to him. Trump thought he was going to be his friend and his buddy and do whatever he asked. But then Trump kept asking, at least stop the shooting, stop killing people in Ukraine, and then I can work with you. But Putin never stopped. Zelensky told him, the leaders of NATO told him, everybody told him, he's not going to stop. Putin's not going to stop. He doesn't, you don't understand. You don't understand how he's thinking. And Trump was like, he's my good pal. So yeah, maybe he'll stop. But he didn't stop. And okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give Trump credit for finally coming around to being able to admit that, to admit he's basically admitting he was wrong. He's basically admitting he made a mistake and he was wrong. So if he comes out and admits he's wrong on something, and he's not going to come out and say I was wrong, but he's doing a 180. So that's in action admitting you were wrong before. So let's let him do it. Let's let him do it because when he admits he's wrong, then he's taking the position we wanted him to have all along. And he's taking a position his supporters don't want him to have. This is just going to be more fuel on the fire for them. They had, what did they have? First, they had their first shock this year was when Trump came out and said, hey, we're not going to deport everybody. Hotel workers, gas station workers, restaurant workers, all these people who pick the food off the trees on the farms, we're not going to deport them because we need them. They hated that. His supporters hated that. But it kind of passed quickly because, Holman came out and said, no, 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 we are going to keep deporting them. So he went against the president to keep MAGA on board. So MAGA was pacified. Then he bombed Iran. They hated it. They hated that. But they let that go because it turned out to be a one-day thing. So as long as it's a one-day thing, I think they're okay with it, especially since we, apparently, quote unquote, won and it didn't bog us down into anything. So they're willing to put up with a day of war, I guess. But then Bondi came out last week and said, hey, there's no there. Epstein files? What are you talking about? I don't know anything about it. So that was the nail in the coffin. That was the nail in the coffin. When Trump said, when the reporter asked Bondi, hey, I want to ask you some questions about Epstein. And Trump chimed in and said, wait, Epstein? Are you still talking about that guy?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Do you want to waste the time? This guy's been talked about for years. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Yeah, like that. But yeah, when he went on about, are you going to ask about Epstein? Are you serious? Why are we wasting time on this? The minute he said that, it was like shockwaves got sent through MAGA world. And I saw it live. And the minute it happened, I was like, well, this ain't going to be good for him. This is going to be bad. And it has exploded in ways that I never could have imagined on that day, even though I knew it was going to be bad. But I couldn't have imagined it would be that bad, universally bad. So all these bad things that he's done, in MAGA's view, that have really turned them, I won't say against him yet, but it's got them turning over and thinking and being, and they're like, hey, what's going on with this guy? At least it's a crack in the wall. And they're starting to think and they're starting to question. Believe me, this questioning is going to lead to nowhere good for him. So now you have Ukraine. A week or so ago, he said, hey, wait a minute. I don't know we canceled all shipments of arms to Ukraine. Wait, I think we should help them. And Mago, they didn't push back too hard then because he hadn't committed to help. So we'll see how they push back against this. I think they're going to push back hard against this. So now they got two big things in on their plate that are really bothering them. Pam Bondi and the DOJ and Epstein, and now Ukraine. And they got to be thinking, wait a minute, this isn't what we voted for. So now we'll have the whole country saying, this ain't what we voted for. And that's good. If we get everybody on board with that, we're making some progress and we're going somewhere. So, picking up in the article, speaking from the Oval Office, where he met with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, Mr. Trump said that a range of artillery would be quickly dispersed and distributed to the battlefield in a deal brokered by Mr. Rutte and European leaders. Under the deal, the United States would sell Patriot air missiles, air defense missiles, to NATO members, which would then supply them to Ukraine. So a bit of a roundabout way, but it meets all the requirements that Trump had, where Europe is, taking more of a lead on this, where they're paying for more of it and all that. So, whatever, if that's how he wants to get to it and they can work out the deal, that's great. I'm all good with that. And then he said this, he said, we'll send them a lot of weapons of all kinds, a lot of weapons. And they're going to deliver those weapons immediately to the site of the war, different sites of the war. And they're going to pay 100% for them. All right, that's great. Let's do it. Let's get this deal done and get these weapons on the field as soon as possible. Mr. Trump also threatened to impose secondary tariffs, which he said could be as high as 100%, and secondary sanctions, which are penalties imposed on other countries or parties that trade with nations under sanctions. He said, we're very, very happy. Oh, sorry. He said, we're very, very unhappy with them, with Russia, and we're going to be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. So, you may be thinking, well, what do you mean tariffs? We don't do any trade with Russia anyway. These are secondary tariffs with the countries that do trade with Russia. So countries that buy oil from Russia, the price of their oil is going to double if this goes into effect, and it should go into effect. My only my only reservation I have about this whole thing is, why is he waiting 50 days? It's been 3 years already. Russia could get out tomorrow. They don't need 50 days to get out. They started the war, and they can end it by leaving. And they don't need 50 days to say, okay, we've decided to leave. I would give them 72 hours. See, like, you have 72 hours to start withdrawing your troops. Get them out. And the bombing, it's got to stop now. If the bombing stops right now, then I won't do all these things. But if you keep bombing, if you start bombing later tonight, then all of this is going to happen. Ukraine's going to get the best weapons, and they're going to get them fast. And these secondary sanctions are going to cut off all your income. I guarantee you, Putin would back down. He'd have to, or he's going to get destroyed. So, to me, Trump could have done this on his first day in office, and I think this war would have been very close to being over by now, if not over by now, because Russia is basically on the edge economically already, and they're a boondoggle of a military. Their military is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, little Ukraine is beating them. Yeah, they have help from weapons from us, but they get weapons about 6 months after they needed them, and they've been able to hold on for 3 years. So going on 3.5 years now. So I really think it could have ended if Trump had come in strong like that, and he could have said, I was strong, Biden was weak, and then he would have been right. He would have been right. But to say Biden was weak on Ukraine, and he comes in and tells Putin, hey, have what do you want? Just give me your order, and I'll set it up for you. Well, that's weaker, of course. So let's hope that he sticks to this. I know he always changes his mind. He always chickens out at the last minute, but let's really hope that he's not going to chicken out at the last minute. And I would love to be a fly on the wall in the Kremlin right now. Can you imagine what Putin is thinking, and what all the bureaucrats in Moscow are thinking? They must be going nuts right now. Trump came into office. This is what I love about it. He came into office, and Putin thought, that's a shoe-in. I'm going to get Ukraine now. And for the first 6 months, it looked like he would. It looked like Trump wasn't going to put up any resistance. And now Trump's talking very strongly like this. And I think there's a chance Trump might stick to it, because when somebody crosses him, he never forgives. And Putin has crossed him. Zelensky has handled this beautifully. Remember, Zelensky crossed him at that White House meeting where Trump made fun of his clothes? It's so horrible that he would do that. Make fun of a war leader's clothes. This is just insane. Um, but Zelensky got through that. He didn't lash out. He didn't do anything. He just played this beautifully, and NATO has played it beautifully. The European leaders have played it beautifully. The UK has played it beautifully, and Mark Rutte has done a great job. These guys have all done a great job figuring out the best way to navigate around Trump and to get what they need in the end. So credit to all those guys. And let's hope for the best. If you're a Christian, let's pray that he will stick to this and that justice might be done in that part of the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.